Welcome to Whores Talk Horror.
We're not really whores. We just like wordplay.
Hello and welcome to Whores Talk Horror. I'm Sharon.
I'm Melinda.
And today we have the third part of our interview with Tatiana and her mom, Adriana. And we're going to be picking up where we left off last week, where Tatiana just found out that she has been living in a morgue.
So you were living in a morgue.
I was living in a morgue. And the crazy thing is that I noticed that there would be like different things going on.
Yeah, like it wasn't consistent.
It wasn't, no, like just different things. And I mean, the first day that I came in, I was like, what's up with this house?
Yeah.
You know?
Did your boyfriend at the time, did he know that previously?
No, he didn't know that.
So that would have been
But he did tell them about the experiences that I had. And they're like, what? And then I was like, yeah, this happened. I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I never knew. And I was like, what the hell? And what's crazy is that, like, I do tarot readings. I wouldn't like to read my tarot cards there. I did a reading for somebody one time. I refuse to read any readings like this ever again. When I do readings, I make sure that you do readings for yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't try to do readings for a friend or a family member, because it's just like Reiki. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Reiki. Yep. You're tapping into somebody else's energy without their consent.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
Well, this person was asking these questions, and I'm reading what the cards are saying, and he starts laughing. He's like, that's exactly what he would say to me. That's exactly blah blah blah. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I was asking questions to my dead friend.
Oh, thanks a lot.
And the thing is that I was feeling really uncomfortable. Like, when I was doing this reading, like, I was feeling sick, nauseous. I was, like, uncomfortable. And I was like, what the hell? And I thought, because I was at a party that I was doing the reading at, that it was just maybe, like, the party energy or something. No. It was this guy decided to do a reading to his dead friend without letting me know. So the tarot cards are, I feel, are just kind of like a Ouija board almost. They're a portal. Right. You know? To me, many people use them differently, but the way I use them is that I'm tapping into the energy of the universe. Yeah. Right? I see the cards like stars, right, when I shuffle them. And I'm tapping into your energy, your stars, your, path that the universe is giving you. So this is a guidance. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And because every day you wake up, you can make different decisions. But for some reason, I did not want to read my cards in that house. I don't know what it was. Maybe something was trying to communicate to me through the cards or something, but I would not do it. And every time I tried to do it, it would make me nauseous. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I follow those instincts.
But then the last day, I had already moved out. Actually, I had already moved out, and I forgot something in the house. And I went to go get it, and he goes, oh, are these yours? And he hands me a pair of tarot decks. What? A tarot deck. And I was like, no. I'm like,
they weren't your cards.
They were not my cards. I'm like, these are not mine. And he's like, they're not? And I'm like, no, because I have multiple different decks for different reasons and so forth. I said, maybe they belong to the previous, to our friends, like the landlords or whatever, their house. And he's like, no, they don't read tarot. And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know whose they are.
I ain't taking it either.
And I looked at them, and I've seen them. It's a deck that I'm familiar with. Like, I know of them. I don't have that deck. I don't own that deck. Yeah. But I'm familiar of them. And I was like, oh, well, you can cleanse a deck. Just like you can cleanse anything. I was like, do you want me to do a cleansing on them? He's like, yeah, I take them out. Girl, I felt so nauseous. I just put them back. I couldn't even shuffle them. I just put them back, and I was like, here, I don't know, maybe take him to Burning Man or something. I don't know. Because he was going to Burning Man. He was going to Burning Man. I was like, just take him there. Maybe somebody wants them. I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, God, you could have just unleashed some horrible energy to the world.
It made me so sick. I was just like,
Take these cards that I found in the morgue I was living in.
Right?
My daughter, she does the tarot. She reads those, and me is the dreams.
Okay. Oh, you read dreams.
I dream, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's a very good dream interpreter.
Whenever you tell me about your dream, I see it happening in my head. Like, I see, and I can tell you, and I can hear it, and I can see. It's really weird. I've always done that. I don't know why, but it's things you come with. It's part of this whole thing.
Can I just add to something, add on to this? And you're going to have to talk about this, too. But she can tap into, like, she gets these flashes, right, of what you're telling her, and she can give you a better interpretation of what your dream is, right? But not only that, she doesn't really like to do the dishes much because she
Oh
gets
my God.
she
Let me
gets
tell
flashes
you.
of
I don't like
I don't know, maybe you have
look,
a connection.
I get chills. Look at
Yeah, you got goosebumps.
Maybe I think that maybe the water, maybe you have a connection with
know what it
the you know, like the,
it's a combination.
you know, like the elements.
Like the different minerals
So-
in the water.
No, I'm just saying like the element of water. Maybe she's connected to that
Okay.
and sound of running water or something,
When I was,
because it puts her in a trance where
and
she
I
gets
see,
visions.
and I'm there.
But wouldn't that happen like if you were in the shower? Or,
No.
No, it's
It was when I'm washing dishes. I don't know why.
But if there was some
Now I
connection
have
to the
a
element of
dishwasher.
water.
I put everything in.
And to be fair, like the faucet when you're washing the dishes does make it's a different
just-
tone and everything than if you
I
take
don't
a
know.
shower
It
or
makes
whatever.
me. I don't know. But the first time that it freaked the living daylights out of me was I was washing the dishes in Northbrook, and the way that it was a mirror, a window in front of it, and it was dark out, and I was washing and everything. All of a sudden, I am a 4-year-old little girl in this barn, and this guy is doing horrible things to me. Horrible things to me. And she's blonde, and she's doing all, and I'm like this, and I'm not there. I'm not here. I don't know where I'm at. And I was like this, and I'm like, boom, and I dropped everything. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, she needs help. Where do I go?
Yeah.
Where is she? And
Is this something that happened 20 years ago?
yeah, I
Is
don't
this
know.
something that's gonna happen
Well,
in the future?
unfortunately, they did find her body. It was true. It was by Wisconsin, and it was a little girl that had been sexually molested and killed, and I couldn't help her. I don't like to be in that kind of situation.
Sure.
It is horrible.
How did you find out about the story long after?
It went in the news. I'm
Like,
sitting there, and I was like,
recently?
Mom, that's what I saw.
When you had this experience, when you had these visions, was it like the next week or something that you
It
saw
was
this
like
in the
2
news?
weeks, about days.
Wow.
But I was like in the alert. I was like, what is happening? What happened? And I don't know if maybe she tapped into me or something, but I don't want to be in that position. And she's always telling me, you should go and do exercises to open it up. And I go, yeah, but if I don't know where,
Right. Right.
how can I help? I'm just there.
And just because I like to, as much as I love all this stuff, I also like to try and keep an open mind and always play the skeptic. But like when you were having that vision, were you very, it sounds like you were very aware of the fact that this was not you, you were seeing someone else?
No,
Is
I
that
was
right?
her. And it was dark, and I couldn't see where, and it was like in a barn because I could smell the hay. It was like,
Wow.
it was like I was her. I tell my daughter, I says, when I have those kind of things, I block it out.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember it because I see it.
Sure.
I don't want to
Gosh.
remember, so I block it out. So I don't think about it until stuff like this happens and all that. But also with my dreams, I was sleeping and I'm dreaming and I'm a guy in a car and it's a race. It was like a Firebird, and I'm racing. I'm vroom vroom. I'm going like this and I'm racing. I see another guy in a red one. I don't know what color mine is, but he's in a red one. And we're doing this, and it's late at night and it's like a country road, and vroom, and my tire, something happens and I crash into a tree and I wake up like that, right? Well, like the next day or the day after that, it was a guy that got killed. He was racing like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They were trying to race to see which car was faster, and he lost control and hit that. I'm like, I don't want to be there either. So it's like, damn, how do I help?
Yeah.
So I try to block that stuff out, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
And you said you guys lived in Wisconsin for a bit. Was
Yes.
this near where you lived?
Yeah.
The little girl?
The little girl was up by there.
And what about the racing?
Also, it was actually not far from our house.
It could have been too. I mean, obviously we're all energy,
Yes.
and so maybe the little girl was just like trying to send some like
help SOS type.
and you just
somewhere.
happen to pick up the frequency.
Yeah, they, from what I understand, when I saw it, she had been missing. They were trying to find her, and they were trying to do it before those 48 hours type thing, and they couldn't, and it happened between those 48 hours.
Wow.
And they did find her in a shallow, the good thing it was a shallow grave, and they found her, but she went through, it was horrible.
So that actually leads me to a question that I have. For now, I'm not going to say any names, but one of my friends referred me to a friend of hers who does acupuncture, but she also can read chakras.
Oh, yeah.
And I've done acupuncture before, but like I wanted to try something different, and this lady sounded interesting, and so I went to see her, and she was really. Like, it was the best acupuncture I've ever had. She told me things about my life that no one would have ever known. But the one thing that she kept saying, because of my family's history and my dad's side especially, I, like, don't really want to see stuff out of the corner of my eye. And she was saying, she was like, oh, no, like, your third eye is there, and it's peeking, but it's too scared to open. Mm-hmm. So I guess my question is, like, do you have any advice or suggestions for, like, if you're curious and you would like to maybe expand those senses a little bit, but you don't obviously want to be...
Well, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I have been like that for a long time, for a very, very, very long time. Like, I want to be able to, but then what? Can I stop it? I don't know.
Right.
Can I control it? I don't know.
And, like,
so there are people who teach you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, but who are they?
Yeah.
Well,
Are they okay?
And like for tarot stuff, I usually think of that as like my own energy feeding into the cards
Right.
to get. I don't try to. I do the same. I'm not trying to reach out to anybody.
Right.
But
From what I've experienced, like, okay, I know that I can see the spirits, I can hear the spirits, I can feel the spirits, stuff like that. I know that if I am aware of that on a regular basis and am conscious of that and keep that in my mind and think about it, that I guess you can call it your third eye, opens up more, and then you just can't control it. It's just going to be there. But if you try to, like I say, I don't like to talk about it, I don't want to know about it, I don't want to da-da-da-da, then
I guess it's your own control.
Yeah. It's like a language, like if you practice it and you're aware of it and you you hear the language and you think about it and you learn it and you practice it enough, then it'll stay open, you'll remember it and you'll know it and it's just there. But if you just kind of put it on the back burner and you like here and there or whatever, then it's just, you're more able to control it. Like me right now, like I'm talking about it now. I know that once my mom leaves, I'm gonna have to just like not talk about it, not think about it, not anything, because I'm gonna be in a house by myself.
Right.
And it's been there for a very long time, so she needs to, and it's multiple.
It's an old building, vintage.
Oh, cool. But
Building.
yeah, sage.
It's got a lot of energy.
You saged it.
Yeah. I saged it before and after. I've saged it a lot of times. I use sage as an incense.
There's nothing wrong with it. Actually, it's supposed to. You're supposed to be doing that.
And somebody told me, I know this is a little fun fact, that people who use a lot of sage, their immune system is better.
I'm gonna stock up then.
Yeah, look that up, because somebody told me that people who use sage a lot, they don't get as sick.
Huh.
That's interesting.
I do like how it smells, so I have
it's
no
very
problem
good.
with that. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Any final stories?
The-
Thoughts? Anything you want to share?
We could keep going for days.
When do you guys have to leave? Because like we could sit
like
here for
to
hours.
Well, no, today. Well, we do. Well, okay. So here's the funny thing. We have my grandmother at my house right now. She's waiting for us, and she was gonna come, but she woke up a little later, and we were just like, stay here. But then, and she's like, well, what are you guys gonna do? And I was like, oh, we're gonna go talk about ghost stories and things that we've occurred. And she was like, well, I have lots of stories to tell you guys. But she was just waking up and stuff. But she told me one as I was getting ready, and I was like, "What the hell? That's scary."
Can you share it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. It's just
Okay.
I'll tell you that it has to do with a graveyard when she was little.
Oh yeah, I know about that,
Okay.
Do you want to share it?
and I believe that's why. How can I say it? She was She had to go to a funeral.
Oh yeah, it was her aunt. She that's what she told me.
Our aunts. I don't know.
Right?
And it was at a graveyard. It was an old graveyard. And all the kids were playing around the graves because they were little. I don't know why people do this to children. But don't do that. Don't. Because it's really going to affect them forever.
Because they're like
Well,
sponges.
yeah.
with
They
that stuff.
are, and I believe that like kids, they come into this world with the knowledge of everything. They have all the senses. They have everything. Their third eye is open. Everything.
And so she was playing with her brother and sister, and they were playing around.
And the adults told them to go away because they were
praying.
no. She told me they were opening up one of the graves. Why? She didn't know it was of her aunt.
I know. I think
It
that
was
they were
something
they were
crazy.
going to bury someone.
That's not what she told me. This is why she needs to be here. But we could just puzzle piece the story.
But she said that there was a statue in one of those, and the statue came at her.
Oh.
And
See? She just told me the story and it was different.
you got to remember now.
She told me that she was by the statue that had like a bunch of things, right? Like a rosary and like the candles and everything. And behind it, there was a river. And coming out of the river, she saw this woman just come out of the river, and she was all wet, and she was just like crying, like making like noise, like painful noises, like she had been killed in there or something, and just making painful.
It could have been that
noises.
Llorona.
It sounds like the Llorona, doesn't it?
I literally just
No
watched
spoilers. I've not seen it.
Linda Cardellini's in it.
I know
She's
she
great.
is.
Anyway.
It sounds like
Sounds
that.
like that Llorona. It could
It
be.
totally-
They're all over the world. The Lloronas from all over the world. It's not just Mexico, because in Colombia they had them also. It's just really weird.
Is that where the story took place? Was it
In Colombia.
Wow.
Well, I got to tell you also, I'm a magnet for babies
Aw.
and animals.
Oh, well, that's.
And it's just the energy. I don't know. They see it in me. And a quick story. It was really cute. I was in a doctor's office waiting, and there was a mother here with her newborn. No, there was the father here, and then the mother there. And she wasn't a newborn. She was about 5-6 months old because she wanted to stand. And my husband was over here. And she looked at me and just came crawling from her dad onto me, and she's just talking to me and saying and grabbing all this stuff. I'm like, and the mom's like, oh my God, let me get her. It's okay, but yeah, all that stuff's like, they follow me. I'm a magnet.
Can you like communicate with like animals and?
No, I think they just protect me.
Okay.
They're like always with me.
That's not true. She communicates.
I know
She
what they're
communicates?
saying.
She communicates to animals, and they talk back to her. And
Can
they
you find
listen
out
to
why
her.
our cat started peeing on our couch?
Oh, she will tell you that.
Angry at something.
That's what
Probably
I
our
said.
other cat.
That's exactly what I said, and
she's
it wasn't a
probably-
psychic thing.
It's
I was like,
angry.
she's just mad.
She's mad at something that you did. You changed something that they're used to.
She's bitter.
Yeah, we brought another cat in the
Oh,
house
boy.
3 years ago, and she still hasn't forgiven us.
Hey, when my cat that's passed, though, she was older when we brought my current cat in, who's still alive, and she went to her dying breath being bitter about him. So
see.
Bailey could still be mad.
Yeah, cats hold grudges.
You need to also see if something came with the other cat.
A goofball attitude, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Goofy
Just
and funny.
do saging.
Okay.
Start
We've
sag-
actually never saged our place. We should probably do that.
Saging because especially cats. Cats are well known to see, feel, all that stuff. They help with everything. That's why now they say witches and cats and all that stuff.
Sure.
But it wasn't that. Is that they protect and they see, they hear, and all that stuff. But you don't know if that other cat you brought in
Yeah.
has something attached to it.
That's true.
She was a rescue,
She
right?
was she was
she's
a
a baby.
rescue. She was a teeny little kitten, but she was found in an alley with. She was like one of like 11, and I think most of them, a few of them died.
Aww.
And then but she was taken away from all of her like brothers and sisters. But I will say there was one time you were out of town for a work trip, and one of the cats was playing, and so I was taking a video with my phone, and it was playing, and then it just stopped and stared, and when I watched the video back, an orb
That's what I'm saying.
like
it might
came
have brought
through
something
like the screen,
with it.
like it was just weird because
Did you show me that video?
I might have sent it to you. I can find it on my phone.
See it again.
Yeah, because
We're
it was
gonna
like the
revisit
cat was
that.
just playing and then just stopped for some reason. And then I just noticed in the video like an orb went through.
Sage your house.
Okay.
Just sage your house. I mean, her cat, I keep telling her, I said, that relationship you're in, even your cat's being on the bed. Hello. Get rid of the guy.
Yeah,
The cat's telling you, not on this bed.
But like Smidgen, my cat that is living, he's like my barometer because like if I think something's weird, I always look to see what the animal's doing.
Exactly.
And if he's sleeping, I'm like, all right, we're cool. I'm just hearing noises or whatever.
Yeah. He helped you because of him.
Actually,
he helped
the
you
joke
discover your breast cancer.
a friend of mine said was, "Oh, your pussy found your breast cancer." But for real, one Friday, of course it was a Friday night, and I was going to bed and I was like going to turn my light off and I was like up like leaning on my left arm because my light's on my left the left side of my bed. And Smidgen came walking up on the left side of my bed and was like just meowing like crazy at me. And I was like, "Oh, you coming to bed with me, buddy? What's going on?" And then I happened to like go reach for something and I was like, "Oh, that wasn't there before." And like during treatment, even to this day, if I come home from work and I've had a bad day, he will do something goofy and silly and sweet to cheer me. Like he's so in tune.
Oh yeah.
Animals are amazing. So I don't
too.
think I can live without having an animal in my house.
Always have something like that. Always have a dog, cat, preferably
Even birds.
cats.
Yeah.
Birds too.
Yeah, I have two. They're Shih Tzus, and they read my mind. I don't have to say nothing. I don't have to say anything. They know. If like I have a migraine or something, and I sit there, they both come. They sit on me. They're just looking at me. They don't do nothing. They're really quiet. And I just start to pest, and then they help. It helps me.
Yeah.
So you were saying that the migraines are because it kind of goes with the territory of like being.
I think
very
it's because
in tune?
I'm stopping it.
Oh, okay.
That makes...
Do you get
that makes
migraines
sense.
as well, Tatiana?
She just started to.
Yeah, I did just start to, but I don't know. I honestly don't know because I'm been dealing with a lot right now, so I feel that maybe the migraines are from stress.
Sure.
But I'm not trying to stop it. I'm just trying to maintain it. And because I use a lot of that energy to read my cards because I do read them as a business. I do tarot readings on the side as well. So I'm not trying. I just don't want to see dead people.
That's the thing.
Understood.
Like, yeah. I just don't want to be ready for bed and tired one night and then turn on the light and be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that's But I'm still
Seriously.
curious at the same time. So I'm kind of caught in the middle. Oh wow.
It happens when you're least expected. That's the problem. It's when you're so calm and you're so ready and you're just like, "Oh, life is so real." It's on bam. Ah.
I'm just gonna say boo whenever I
Yes,
enter my apartment.
I'm telling you, that is the best thing ever.
Just the idea behind it cracks me up too.
Or yell, "Get out! You're not welcome here!"
But then you have that fear behind it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You say, you say, "Boo!" You're not wanted here. Go.
I feel bad for any Girl Scouts that inadvertently knock on Adriana's door like one day. It's like,
I have a doorbell. You should be.
"You're not welcome here!" Little girl goes crying away. "I just want to sell you cookies."
It's interesting to be, because I was born this way. She's born this way. My mom's born that way. It's not something that you learn or there's it just happens. So when you try to, stop it from happening, it's so stressful. In my opinion, it's very stressful.
Going against your
the nature of who you are supposed to be, because I don't know what's going to happen if I do open it.
Right.
I'm not ready for it, I don't think.
Yeah.
So basically the best decision I've ever made in my life is not acknowledging that shadow figure in my room, and I didn't even know it, because I could have opened myself up to so many other things, it sounds like, if I acknowledged the presence of it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If you see it, go away. Go away. I'm not Whenever I go someplace, because Chicago is a very old
Ghosts
city.
everywhere.
They're everywhere. And if ever I feel like that, even to this day in your house and stuff, going down the stairs in the basement when you did that thing, and it's like I say to myself, go away, I don't have time for you.
Even if I know it's just my imagination, I usually say stuff like that anyway, like just because it makes me feel better. But like that's good to know. Like if it for real, because I watch scary movies all the time. I freak myself out super easy, like where I know there's not anything really there, like deeply know, but I'll remember that just in case I freak myself out, and in case I actually do feel something. Very good to know.
Yes. I wanted to just share, also, just changing the subject.
Yeah, we usually
so
let the recording run and just chat now.
every morning I get a call from my little girl over here. Mom, I had this dream.
That's true.
That's how mine feels.
No matter where I am, I'm taking grandkids to school. I'm doing all this stuff. My husband has a daughter that's in the Navy, and she's deployed, and I'm taking care of the two kids, his grandkids. So I take them to school and all that stuff. And I'm in the middle of this. She's telling me what she dreamt, and I'm trying to figure it. I'm trying to do this. I'm like, But every day, especially if it's something that she's going through, and then I interpret it for her.
Does
all
it
the time.
help? Like are you finding correlations between your dreams and what's happening in your life?
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes I can interpret my own dreams if it's something that's like common sense. But sometimes I get really crazy dreams. I've had dreams where I dreamed that like I'm pregnant, or that somebody close to me is pregnant, and it turns out that somebody that I know that is close to me is pregnant.
When she tells me, or I dream someone is pregnant, say that I'm pregnant, I dream that it's me that's pregnant, it'd be one of my closest girls, it would be my daughters. Also, I dream when someone's gonna die. If I dream my dad dies, and it's someone within real close to it, it's a male, and within 3 days it happens. If my mom dies, it's someone that is close to me. But if it's someone like I can tell that it's not that close to me, but I know of them, then it's a friend or something like that. But
I don't know if you guys are aware of the number of deaths. That death comes in threes.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking that when you were saying that.
I've actually predicted a couple of deaths. I had a dream that my babsha, my great grandma, that she died, and within like a week she died. Oh, and when we were in Washington, we went to Seattle for vacation 2 years ago, and the night we arrived, it's like my favorite city to go to in the U.S., and I was so happy to be there, and for some reason, I was just in this funk. I was just so negative, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but I just had this horrible, horrible feeling. We were driving to our Airbnb, and I just started crying out of nowhere, and I'm like, something's with my grandma. Something's wrong. And then at like 4 a.m, I woke up and looked at my phone and had a message from my mom that my grandma died. But then I felt the feeling just
exactly.
left. I'm like,
lifted up.
now I know what it is. At least.
Well, and you were aware that like she had a rough couple of years. You knew it was coming.
But
But it
to
was
know
also
the moment.
like
The moment.
We thought she would die,
that's the thing.
and then she'd go on living, and then we'd think she was gonna die again, and it kind of went on and on for like 3 years. So kind of, and like before we left, in case we're gone and something happens, I want to say, because we're gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
I'm so glad you did that.
Let's go visit my grandma just in case. We'll see her again, but then we never did.
So like with tarot, like I believe that it really is like a gift, right? Like you're gifted that. People who want to read the tarot, like it's not necessarily, they can't necessarily do it. Not everybody can do it. Like I have a sibling who really, really wants to get into it and wanted me to teach her how to do it and everything. My mom, my grandmother, like they know how to do it, but they never taught me.
Right.
They never like offered it to me. I feel that it's something like if it's your calling, you will be attracted to it. You will be like, they will call you, and it's your, like, if you want to do it, it's up to you to study them, to learn them, to get to know them. Right. Otherwise, if you just go ahead and you're like, oh, that's cool, let me try that, and just do it, it's not necessarily going to work.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to be connected.
you definitely have to be connected, not only with the cards, but within yourself, right? And know you to be able to connect to something as strong as the tarot. Get this, before my parents got divorced, I went to a cotillion. And I was not allowed to have boyfriends because I was too young.
Okay.
I was 14.
Okay.
Okay. So they're like, you can't have any boyfriends, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. So we go to this place in Wisconsin. It's called the Kemper Center. And it's told to be haunted, which it is, by the way. I've seen it. It is. It used to be an all-girls school with nuns. So the nun actually hung herself.
Oh, no.
After a little girl fell out the window. She felt it was her fault that she... So she hung herself. We were all being like really nosy, and that's when I saw, the nun ghost, because we were like roaming around in places we weren't supposed to be. And then me and this guy that I had like a crush on, right? We roam out because the Kemper Center was right off the lake, and we roam off and go like by this little like nook where the beach comes in, and it's like really private, and it was just me and him, and we were talking and whatever.
Oh no.
And that was my first kiss. We had our first kiss there, and all of a sudden the guy looks up, and my dad is standing, looking down over.
What was scarier, the hanging nun or your dad?
I told him, I said, go look on that corner right there. Go, that's where she's at.
That's hilarious.
So you just had a feeling?
I have feelings. I have these feelings, and I have to do it. Same thing when your sister got sick.
Mm-hmm. She had blood poisoning.
Oh my God.
From, was it?
She was little.
She was little. She had sepsis from an earache.
Oh, wow.
And she was 2. So I'm like, I have to go pick her up at the daycare. Something's going on. I know. And I was
You just had a feeling they didn't call you.
No, they didn't call me. I was working at Allstate Insurance Company off of there in 94. And I had this. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't work. I'm like, listen, I'm not feeling well. I need to go pick up my child. And all this is that. I get there and they tell me, well, she's not feeling very well because she's cleany. And my daughter she never cries. She would never cry. She would never cry, and for her to cry is something going on. So I picked her up and I put her in the car seat, and then I'm in the car and I see her eyes rolling in her head and foaming at the mouth. I'm like, what the hell? I run. I told my mom. I said, Mom, something's going on. And I put her on the floor. She would fall off, and I'm like, something's going on. So I took her to the hospital, and as soon as I got there, they saw her like that, and they took her, and sure enough, they gave me 24 hours.
Oh my God.
If she gets better, she's better. If she's not, she's gonna die. Jesus. 24 hours because she was shutting down.
Yeah.
And she was so little. They couldn't find no veins. Oh, they had to find it on her little leg over here. The way she was so little. She wasn't even 2 years old yet. But I felt it. I was in a meeting and I was like, oh no, I gotta go. I have to go. Something's going on. And the bad thing is that you don't know what it is.
Right.
But I could feel it was her.
Wow.
So
this is a great example of why having this ability
could be helpful. Yeah,
it can be really helpful. Like, it can be really scary, but also in this situation.
With my mom too, when my mom got into a car accident when I was pregnant with my little girl, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm calling my mom, nothing. I'm calling my mom. 294, they were going from Chicago to Northbrook. They were in a car, my mom had her hand out like this, and a car, they were in the middle lane, and the sport car came, and he was supposed to get out, and he wasn't supposed to at the last minute, and he wanted to lost control, pushed my parents under this way, and the car went in underneath a big semi. It was a small.
It flipped over and went under.
It was a small Toyota, so it went under. It went under it, and the tires kicked them up onto the medium, and then they went flying out. And my mom had her hand out like that, so she lost these 2 fingers.
But she lived.
But she had like this collarbone came out here. I was 8 months pregnant. 8 months pregnant.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, is this the baby that's coming, or what the hell is this that's going on? I had this feeling, my dad was in the hospital, my mom was in the hospital. They didn't want to tell me.
And they both survived?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was like, holy Christ, what is it?
We're alive. Don't go into labor.
No, my husband says, well, listen, we got to go to Evanston, because we're right here at Evanston Hospital. We have to go to Evanston Hospital. I go, my mom and dad okay? He's like, yeah.
Technically.
When I got there, my mom had been in the surgery now for 7 hours. And they didn't want.
fingers.
They found her finger. They put them on, but they're like this, like hooks. You'll see them if you ever see them.
But that's amazing that they survived.
They survived. I have no idea how they did that. And the thing that saved my mom was she was not wearing a safety belt.
Isn't that weird? That happened
Because
to
she
a
would
friend
have
of
been
mine, too.
hanging while it spun, and it would have broken her neck.
So spirits that you feel like actual people who used, like okay, so my mom's mom, my grandmother, I feel that she's moved on, but like we still sometimes will get like symbols or signals. Do you think there's a way to like kind of keep an eye on your loved ones even though you've
Absolutely.
because she
Just like what I said when I was out there in that zone that I was with my dad at the same time.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So-
okay.
Yes, I think that they can, and they watch over you, and I feel my grandma all the time.
I'm an only child, and my parents are great. I get along with both of them. My mom has the kind of sense of humor that like Sharon and I have, kind of.
But your grandmother was more maternal?
No, she was, well, yes, but she also had that same kind of sense of humor. And she, before she passed, she loved Stevie Wonder's I Just Called to Say I Love You. After she passed, we will hear that song at like random ass moments, but during life changes. In particular,
So she's validating she's there.
my favorite story was when I was in college. My parents came to visit me, and like we had just put our family dog to sleep like the summer before, and my mom was trying a new job, and it wasn't really working out, and like they left, and I felt really stressed about like them. So my roommate was like, "Let's go." There was Jalisco's, which is like the local Spanish, happy, delicious Mexican place, and she's like, "Let's go. You know you want Jalisco's. Let's go. Let's chill out." So we're sitting there eating and we're talking, and they would full on have like mariachi music playing, very festive. And it was, I'll never forget, we were talking, and then we both just stopped, and her eyes turned into saucers, and I was like, "Is that?" And she's like, "Yeah, it is." Mariachi cover of I Just Called to Say I Love You. And my grandma being like, "Would you calm down? It's all going to be fine." And then I just got back. A friend of mine and I went to Montreal just for fun like 2 weeks ago. And I just got back. And the day we landed, we're sitting there ordering our drinks. And I don't know what was playing, some pop song. And then what starts playing in Montreal, Canada? "I know you're at rest, Grandma, but like, you're keeping an eye on us, aren't you? Because we'll like, that's a song you just don't hear that often." And I called my mom from Montreal, and I was like, "You will never guess what's playing right now." But I just didn't. I was wondering about that because I'm like, is it what we're making of it, or because
No, I think it's definitely the
and
energy.
shows.
Her energy is still around, and she wants to make sure that you know that she's there listening, and she knows.
And
what
it's
you're doing.
always when something's going on. Always. But that Jalisco's moment was the best because that would be my grandma's sense of humor. Absolutely. Full on mariachi band version of it too. It was amazing. Oh my God. It was so funny. I was like, okay, I get it, Grandma. Fine. I'll have a margarita and calm down. I get it. Well, it's good to know.
I think so.
Very
I believe it.
Okay.
I think so. Well, thank you both so much for coming
Thank
and
you.
sharing your time with us and your stories with us. That was incredible, and I think we both learned a lot, and we also have a lot of research to do now.
Yeah. Tatiana, did you want to say anything about like what you do, like plug anything, or like with your dancing even, or how can people find you?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So people can send me emails and requests to, like, if they want a tarot reading or anything like that. I would give my phone number, but I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Your phone number, but if you want to share your email address.
Sure. Fonseca, and then, which is Fonseca, and my first name is Tatiana. That's Tatiana. .tf, my initials, @gmail.com. You can send me an email for any tarot reading requests, and you can always find me. I'm also a professional belly dancer. You can always find me belly dancing at Dundana, which is a restaurant right off of on Kedzie, between Foster and Kedzie. It's a Middle Eastern restaurant. You can always find me every Saturday at midnight
In Chicago.
in Chicago.
And do you have any last words to say, Adriana?
Oh no, that's it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
you
for
guys
coming.
having us over here.
Thank you for
You
having
opened
us.
up a lot of stuff I had stored away.
Thank you so
That was
much.
awesome. All right. Well, if any of you out there would like to be guests on our show and discuss any of your real life paranormal stories, if there's any ghost hunters out there that have any stories,
Ooh, yeah.
and or if you don't want to be guests and you just want to write us your stories and we can read them on the air, send us your ghost stories or scary stories by emailing us at whorestalkhorror@gmail.com, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at whorestalkhorror, and on Twitter you can find us at whoreschorror. And as always,
Thanks for getting creepy with us.